and welcome here to Talk SCB, and welcome here for some breaking news. We have agreed a deal in principle to sign André Gomes from Valencia this summer. The deal has been agreed, an agreement is in place with Valencia and the player, and it is very, very likely now that we will see André Gomes become a Barcelona player this summer. And we've seen rumours, we've heard about rumours all summer long linking us to André Gomes, but the fee has always been far, far too high to what we could pay. Now, out of absolutely nowhere, about 10 minutes ago, Sport and Mundo Deportivo both said that André Gomes was on the brink of signing for Barcelona, and in the last few minutes, Barcelona themselves have officially announced that an agreement has been made. There's been no full article, there's been no big statement as of yet. That's all that we've heard, is that an agreement has been made, and it does look now like we will be seeing André Gomes in a Barcelona shirt come the start of next season. And a lot of people now are obviously taking in the news. A lot of the people may have seen him in La Liga over the last few seasons. He came from Benfica in Portugal. He's a player that's been developing at Valencia now since 2014, where he originally joined on loan. Then last summer they signed him on a permanent deal from Benfica for about 25 million euros. It's now expected that we would have been paying them about 40 million, possibly around 45 million, maybe even 50 if we could stretch to that money for André Gomes. This is in no way, shape or form a cheap transfer. This is in no way, shape or form a cheap player that we're bringing in. We're going to be paying big money for this man. He's going to be the most expensive signing of our summer. I've got no doubt about that. But what we are doing is signing someone with an extreme amount of quality. And now what a lot of people are also saying, why do we actually need him? Surely we've got enough midfielders to start this season. Surely now somebody has to leave. You would think that possibly somebody in that midfield now will either A, leave on loan, or B, possibly now be sold. You look at the likes of Arda Turan, we look like we're probably keeping him. I thought that last week we would be keeping him. He's going to be reporting to training a week earlier than everyone else who went to the Euros. Luis Enrique looks like he's got a plan to try and get the best out of him, but now you see that we've signed André Gomes for a lot of money. You've got to start asking the question of whether it's actually going to be now somebody leaving in order to make way for André Gomes' coming. Because if you look at our midfield, we've got Samp, we've got Busquets, Roberto, Iniesta, Rakitic, Rafinha, Denis Suarez can play there as well. Arda Turan, like I mentioned, Rakitic. There's so many players in that midfield area competing for what is efficiently 3 positions. So at the end of the day, somebody's got to go, somebody's got to give way. We've seen Alan Halilovic today go out to Hamburg. He's signed there on a permanent deal for 5 million euros, but we do have a buyback clause on him from next summer onwards. And I just don't know. This deal has come out of nowhere. Like I say, we did hear a lot of rumours, and then apparently we dropped our interest in Real Madrid. We're going to go and sign him. So that always seems to happen. Whenever we're interested in a player, Real Madrid usually become interested as well. So in some ways, it's very, very satisfying that we've actually beaten them to the signature of André Gomes. But what exactly will he be bringing to the club next season? He's 22 years old. As we know, he's a midfielder, but he's quite a different type of midfielder. With Barcelona, you often associated with a lot of possession-based play, a lot of small midfield players, the likes of Xavi, Iniesta, of course. But André Gomes is a bit more physical. He's a lot taller than those guys. He's about 6'1", 6'2", and he's a very, very powerful player once he runs with the ball. And I think what he does have is Barca DNA, and that's something that we talk about quite a lot. A player that can come in and actually adapt very well to our system. He's very, very good with the ball at his feet. He's very, very good in tight spaces, and he does have very, very good ball control. And I think that is something that will stand him in very good stead coming into our midfield. He's going to be somebody who can certainly carry the ball. He's got confidence. He can go past players, and he's somebody that can certainly make those inroads in midfield. You've got Rakitic, who's a very, very hard worker. You've got Rafinha, who's a bit more dynamic, but I think André Gomes is the closest sort of midfield player that we have to Iniesta, and in no way, shape or form am I going to compare the two players. There's no comparison, of course. Iniesta will have that attacking midfield role for the forthcoming season, but we all know that Iniesta isn't getting any younger. We have to start planning now for the future, and certainly 22-year-old André Gomes has showed a lot of promise that he could grow into the type of player who could be very, very good and dynamic for Barcelona. Like I say, it's with the ball at his feet that he's most dangerous, but he's also a goal scorer. He scored a few goals last season for Valencia. Last season for him was quite inconsistent. He was very, very good in some games. In other games, he'd go missing. But that's exactly the same that you could say for any Valencia player last season. It was a very, very poor season for them collectively, and certainly André Gomes struggled because of that. But if you look at 2 games in particular, it's both the games against Real Madrid. One at the Mestalla and one at the Bernabeu. At the Mestalla, when Valencia managed to take points off Real Madrid, which helped us a great deal at the time, André Gomes was absolutely majestic in that game. He completely ran the midfield. He completely destroyed Kroos and Modric at the heart of that midfield. He broke through them many, many a times. And then the game against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, which is a very, very interesting game, very high-scoring game. Have a look online and look at the goal that André Gomes scored outside the area. A fantastic strike straight into the top corner. So he's a player that can score goals. He's a player that's a little bit unpredictable. He's a player that can certainly bring a lot to our midfield, but surely now we're going to be seeing somebody leave. We're going to be seeing somebody depart because there's too many midfield players in there. There's a lot of money that's going to go on this transfer. But again, the good thing is, and it's certainly been a common pattern this summer, the player that we're bringing in is not only for now, but he's also with the future in mind. Another 22-year-old. We signed Titi, we signed Digne, and we signed Denis Suarez, all of them 22 years old. We've been linked very heavily with Luciano Vietto as well, and that's another thing really. I'm not really sure how this signing is going to impact other players that we wanted to bring in. Are we now still going to go into the forward market? Are we going to try and bring in a forward player, a striker, or are we going to stick with what we've got and possibly now play the likes of Denis Suarez in the front three, possibly push Rafinha to the wide positions? We've seen that in the past. How exactly is this signing going to impact our team? For me though, André Gomes, you look at it and you say, did we really need him? Probably not. We've got so many midfield players. He probably wasn't a necessity at this time. You look at him and you say, was he worth the fee? As of yet, you can't really be sure of that. Right now, it looks like a high fee. It looks like money that we don't really have. But at the end of the day, he is only 22. And that's the bottom line here. We're not always paying for what you can see now. You're paying for potential. And in 10 years' time, if he's been here 10 years and he's excelled for 10 years, you'll look back on this and say, you know what, it was a great transfer. Because it may have been a case for the Barcelona board that they've been watching André Gomes now for a number of years since he came into La Liga. And they might have said, look, if you don't buy André Gomes this summer, he's going to Real Madrid, you're going to lose out on him, and you're never going to be able to have that chance again. So it looks like they've taken the opportunity, it looks like they've gone for it, they've gambled, and it is a gamble. This signing is definitely of some risk. But he's going to come in, he's going to give us something a bit different, he's going to give us a bit of youth, a bit of enthusiasm, and I think that going into the new season, it'll be very, very interesting to see how he gets on. Like I say, watch this space, because there's going to be a lot of rumours now about people leaving, there's going to be a lot of rumours about the transfer fee on this one. Like I say, that we're still waiting for more news on officially what we're going to be paying for this man, officially what's going to be happening with this signing, but all we know right now is that Barcelona have officially announced that they've agreed a deal to sign André Gomes. You expect now that in the coming days and in the coming weeks, it looks like now he's going to be coming to the club, he's going to be having his medical, he's going to be presented. That usually happens very, very quickly once an official announcement has been made. But certainly this is something that's come very much out of the blue, something that was quite unexpected. One that I think those of us who has seen him, you've seen the potential there, you've seen the quality that he does have. So I'm not altogether surprised that he's going to be going there, but it's going to be very interesting to see what he can do. Another thing to mention, of course, as well is he was in the team that just won Euro 2016 just a few weeks ago. He was in that Portugal side. He was very, very good for most of the tournament. Again, there was a little bit of inconsistency in his game. That's something he's going to have to work on. But at the end of the day, at 22 years old, that is something that's always going to be the case. You're not going to be Mr. Consistent in the early years of your career. As he gets older, as he develops, as he starts to really understand the game more and more and more, he will start to become more consistent, which he will need to do at Barcelona. He's going to need to adapt quickly. He's going to need to come in and he's going to need to convince people that it was the right decision to make to go out now and spend all this money on him. But that's certainly what footballers have got to do. You've come in, you've got to make your mark, you've got to make sure that the people understand you do have the quality to go and play at a club like Barcelona. And I, for one, are quite excited. But that's personally because I've watched Valencia and I've watched André Gomes now in the time that he's been in La Liga. And every time I watch him, I do really like what I see from him. I do like what I see. I do like him as a player. I do like the way that he plays. So from a personal point of view, I like the fact that we've signed André Gomes because I like the player. Was it really necessary? Probably not. But we have taken this chance while we could get him. We've gone and got him. We've beaten Real Madrid to his signature. That's always satisfying. Let me know what you think, though, on the below. Let me know what you think of the signing. Do you think it's good value for money? Do you think that we will see this player sort of pay back that transfer fee over the number of years that he will no doubtedly be here for us? Let me know down below. I will see you very, very soon. But until next time, as always, Vesca El Barça.